All right, just let me check to make sure that we're live in the Ninja group. Yep, we are. Okay, good. Okay, so welcome. My name is Brian Knight, and I live near Melbourne in Australia. And it's just after 5:30 in the morning. What day is it today? Let me just have a look. Oh, it's a Wednesday. Yeah, good. All right, so it's a Wednesday for me. We're in the middle of the trading week at the moment. And I'm the host here for a trading session or an information session on trading, Forex, primarily using Ninja Trading System, and here we go, Ninja Trading System and bankers, sniper, smart money type strategy. Let me just share screen here. So welcome to this live Forex analysis session. Please note any trades discussed here are to be classed purely as educational only. That's because we're a group of people helping each other and we are not financial advisors. So please only take trade you're happy to take based on your own analysis. As I always suggest, a demo account until you can trade a demo account until you can prove to yourself that you are profitable. Always follow proper risk management to protect your account as taught in IM Academy and the Ninja Group, as each trade carries risk as well as potential profit. This strategy only requires you to place a 1% of your account, 1% on any particular pair in any trade or part thereof. So if the recording of this session goes anywhere and you're watching it and you're not already an exclusive Ninja member, then please get back to the person who referred you. As an exclusive Ninja member, I have access to Go Live, where there are a number of professional traders to trade this strategy and other profitable strategies. There is also a full risk disclosure here from IM, and also to a little note here about us as live session traders. Okay, let me just stop that share there and we'll go across to the charts and have a look at CAD JPY. Let me just go and see, make sure. Okay. I'm sure I dropped the, yeah, okay. Yeah, I dropped the link in. Tom's coming. Okay, no worries. I just thought, oh, maybe there was a problem with connection. Rightio. So there was a comment by someone in the group that mentioned that maybe it might be helpful if we change this to a line chart, and it would be less busy maybe in what's happening. And yeah, sure, we could do that, and it would give us a line. So anybody could do that at any time. Welcome, Tom and Rian.
Hi, Brian. Hi, Tom.
Good.
Hello.
Good. Nice and early this morning. Got up for a bit of a chat with the leaders this morning.
That must be very early for you then.
Yeah, I was up at 4 o'clock.
Oh, goody.
That's all right. Start of the day.
Farm animals keeping you up or what?
No. No, it was more like Paul Turner and the crew.
Oh, it's Paul's fault, yeah.
Yeah, that's okay though. So yeah, just looking at this pro trend or the trailing Heikin-Ashi indicator. That's really what we're having a look at from and looking about the use of that and being able to talk about percentage returns, which we're not supposed to do. It's pips, but anyway, that doesn't really matter. Pips to me, I think you work out pips to me are irrelevant. It's all about what the return would be. So last 24 hours, interesting. Came out of the, remember, I don't know if you remember, this is when the session was last. This is where the session was. I said, look, this is the new, basically Canada and US had a bank holiday. There was this, really, I'm going to turn that back to candles, not standard candles. This crazy sort of flat line, and it was going to break out of that. You could quite easily put a GAN box on there. It pulled back up and then off it went, right? Where was it? I was looking, nope. I was looking around about here and thinking, I'll get up, and because I was looking at this. If you look here, everything was up the top, ready for a sell back out. It hasn't moved until it started to pull back down now on the 30th. So we have a lower high, lower lows. This is where we'll get a pullback up. And for me, I was just waiting for this. There's a bit of a sellout, so we'll just see what happens. It's been quite a significant push up there over the whole day. If you want to work out, it was 200 pips basically move. That would have been a great buy out of there if you had have got in at any one of these points here for a buy. It would have been all right. And because it is in a buy trend, that would have been a fantastic move. So I didn't get into that because I wasn't looking necessarily for a buy on it. I was looking for it to finish off and come back down again. But anyway, get fooled by this stuff sometimes. The move. Now, if we look though, and we look at using more of what Paul and the Hoff are doing, you could see the change in direction anyway. And any one of these, if we put on the trailing Heiken-Dashes, you can see that it just took off. So if you have this move here and a push up, if you had got into the trade, you could have had a really tight stop loss on that. I'll just turn that off so you can see it. Like just see a high low there, that pull back. If you got in somewhere there for a long position, somewhere there, it didn't come back to that point. We could have let's even just put nominal 5 pips or so. And look, this is just craziness. Sorry, go back over here even further. All right, now if I took that out to where it went up to its high, that's 35%. That's just crazy. Oh, welcome, man. That's just a crazy amount. If you travel even if you sort of pulled it back down in here, it's still 26. Even you only got that first move, that's still 18%. So just on the one anyway. So now after a big push up, and we had here, I think we talked, let's go to the 5-minute. Welcome, Peter. I had mentioned that after that push up, it would need to come back, and it did, came back down here, right? But then it basically took off. And I think that's got a lot to do with the fact that there was pent up monies that wasn't traded in the holiday, the Canadian US holiday. That's interesting to note, isn't it? Lots and lots of volume came out. You can see, look at it all there, heaps. And it was like very little. Well, it was a bit there, but it just was dead in that day, and then it basically just spiked out. Now, if we look though, it is all bunched up the top. So at some point we're going to get a sellout. You got to remember, this is overall a buy trend. And Tom, where did it make it to? As it pushed up to that previous high from back whenever 2008 or something, did it?
It hit its monthly zone, exactly like I said it was going to.
Oh, you heard it here first.
To the pip.
To the pip. There you go. And it's off on that. On the Fibonacci for it as well.
It looks like it's going to push up to the zone. You were like, "There's no way it's going to break that. It's going to break that peak to the
I
left."
didn't think it would. Correct. I wasn't that emphatic about it. I don't think so.
Because you were like, "There's 3 things it's got to break to get up there."
Yeah, and it did, which is fine. No problem whatsoever. That's good. Yeah, so that's just a lesson in the fact that Brian doesn't know very much at all.
One thing about it is going to be a long
super guess on my part.
down.
Sorry, hang on, Peter, what was that?
I say when it does turn, it'd be a long.
Well, not necessarily, Peter, because it's still in an uptrend. It may, it may also too, it may become the swing high for the next year or something and then start coming down. We don't know though. So Tom, what were you saying? Sorry, because it's.
Oh, I don't even remember now.
Oh.
Go on. It's okay.
So yeah, there was quite a push up, consolidation, push up. All right. It has not come back down. All right. And so there's a fair range down here to sort of come back down into. And Tom, you feel it'll still move up, do you?
Well, to me, its next stop is at 115.519. That's the last up candle that hasn't been taken out before the down move. Way back
up here. Up here.
Yep. 115.519.
Oh. Somewhere up here.
Yep.
Okay.
I think that's eventually where it's going to work too.
Work too. Yeah. But it has to work its way back up and down until it gets there, if that's what it's going to be doing.
Right. That's what I mean.
And we're looking for a target, aren't we? We're looking for where it might go to. So as you said, if we go back to the month, get rid of some of those picks. Back over here.
Hell, your month. Yeah. See, I don't even show that. See where it says high underneath the Y? Right there where it says high under JPY?
Yeah, there.
That's where I show. That is my entire chart. From there to the right.
Yeah, but you've got Oanda though, haven't you? You're on Oanda.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't want you. Oanda doesn't want you to see very much at all.
I actually have a few charts like this where it's just the last 3 highs or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's all I can see. I can't see anything past that.
Yeah, because it's the feed. See, this goes all the way back to 1982.
Right. My
or even further back, it's like
October 07.
Yeah. And it comes down to the feed that you have. And you have Oanda because you trade Oanda, and that's fair enough. You want the prices close to. For me, I use FXCM because it's closer to my broker, as in where price is. But there's a lower high. It's now pushed past that monthly high. The next one's there, and then you got the next one there. Then you've got like whatever it is.
Yeah. So my next target is underneath that high for the last green candle before the down move.
Yeah, just
I think I found it on the 1 hour time frame.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but it certainly has pushed up quite significantly. If you look, where are we? UJ, the same sort of thing. Look at this craziness here. And that is significant. Over a month, like each one of those candles is a month. That's like, it's been going since, when's that? January this year. It took off and just kept going. It's had its little pullbacks for a month, but like predominantly it's pushing up. Same sort of thing. If you look at that chart, right, see that there, high, this one. And then up there, if we go back to the CAD JPY, it's a sort of a similar type of chart. It's not exactly the same, but, you know, it's running the same sort of pattern as such. Right. Our opportunities, though, are down on the 1 minute. And if we can see in the session times, have a look. This now, oh, my thing. Yeah, see, for me, get down in there. It looks like, well, it's done that little pull up. Oh, get in there. There. It's not overbought, but you know, as far as this is concerned, it looks like it's in a bit of a downtrend now. It took all of my, when I went to bed, basically, it just kept going up. So when I woke up, I thought, oh, is it going to be at some point way down here? Because it's actually turned, and it didn't. This was at, what was that? Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, that was at 2 o'clock this morning for me. So it started its turn to come back down again. It has created lower lows. So I could have got in at that, which was at 4:20 when I was awake, but I didn't. I saw that come down there, pull back up. I'm waiting for this, and it looks like it's, what's it doing at the moment? It's just waiting for changeover of the session. Yeah. So if
Well, at 4 o'clock, well, I shouldn't say it's 4 o'clock my time, but there's news coming out today for foreign exchange reserves.
yeah, okay. Yeah. But then again, we've got a drop that's happened. So this pull up, when the pull up's finished here, you got to look for, you know, look for a yellow. For me, it would be looking for a yellow dot here back down. You could take that off and we could put on, there's this pro trend. There we go. Oh, wow, that's a bit different. It's set up. It's got quite a different. Okay. See that? That's not as close. Or maybe because I've changed something in. Oops, I've changed something in here. Inputs. Change that to 30. I might change that back to 10. And this is 10 as well. But I did change it to, now see it's changed a bit. So, but I thought I had that at, this is only on 5. Okay, that's why. Right, because I had an entire time frame. Well, what we might do, if I go here, let me change that to 5. I think what Paul's doing though is using it straight out of the box. And I think what I think Anne confirmed yesterday that Paul was talking about releasing this out to members in a couple of weeks.
No, it's not. No.
Even
Brian. No, it's been released to Anne in 2 weeks, I believe.
Oh, Anne in 2 weeks. Yeah.
How was Balmoral and Alistair?
It's very nice, thank you.
Lovely. Earl Grey?
I was near there recently, actually. I was very close. Crathy Castle.
Yeah, come on. You're not fooling us. I'm sorry. Just Don't even try.
Oh, I tell you, it's a good crew, this. So just change that to 10. Yeah, it's a little bit smoother. That's actually, I like that. That's actually better. 10 and 10. So after the push up here, we'll have to see. Yes, it's made a lower high there. This would be, I mean, we could look here. Things are still pulling up here at the moment with 5, but that could still pull back down again. The 30 minutes starting to go down, so I'm quite confident. The only problem I've got is it's an hour away from when market changes over from New York to Sydney, and the spreads will go crazy. It'll go from, what do we got at the moment? We'll go from, what is it? We'll go from 1.5, 1.7 pips. It'll probably go to 20. Yeah. Well, I've got 1.7 at the moment. So it's a bit more difficult to sort of to work out whether, you know, it's not worth me putting in.
Ryan, I've learned the hard way. Stay out of it till the session actually opens.
Yeah. After it opens, let it settle down. Yeah. It's better off to wait. Like, just patience with this. There'll be another pullback up. Like, it would have been nice to get into the trade back up here, right? When it pulled down here, broke structure or broke this onto the left here. And when it pulled back up, that's where it would have been the best opportunity. If you didn't do that, you'd wait until it came back up to this one and started coming down, get this yellow dot. That would have been the best opportunity, or the second best, should I say. There's a good one. There's the next best one. There might be one here, but so the strategy, if you wanted to get into a trade here and you know spreads are going to go crazy, you would have to put a trade on calculating this the stop loss, but not put the stop loss on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I remember the good old days when Brian used to take the stop loss off for the hour.
Well, yeah, and I can do that too. But then the point is, if it does sort of start ramping up here, you're well into drawdown.
Oh yes, yeah.
So,
So
yeah, look at it.
Let's stay out of the trade till it settles down.
Yeah, and I think it's sometimes a lot
Exactly.
easier. And look, it'll be good too, because if this drops down past this lower low, it will have a pullback up again before it drops back down. So there's another opportunity. The only thing, as I described in yesterday's session, the further down this turn, the more chance of it coming back up of when you enter in. That's the only issue that you need to be mindful of. Yeah.
What you're saying is, further the lower highs down, the more likely to go back above it.
Correct. So if you got in here or somewhere in this drop, like at that yellow dot or that yellow dot, it's less likely that the price will come back past these 2 points, right? The further on down here you get into the trade for a sell, the more likely it will come back and touch or go slightly past your entry to then come back down. That's the only issue that arises. So you'd need to monitor that, or only take a shorter trade, right? Like, you've got an hour. This is not going to move a lot, but if you were to get into that trade now, like just now, say, right, I'm going to get in. You're going to put a 5 pip stop loss on. If this drops down to even just there, it's a 1 to 6, 2, like, you're going to have to go where to get like a 5 out of it. It's going to have to move 26 pips. Is that going to do that in an hour? Probably not. How long did this take to drop? that dropped 24 pips and it took an hour and 13. Well, you know, depends. You might get into that trade and then just before the hour, just before it changes over to Sydney, get out of the trade. That's if you want to. Wherever that is and whatever percentage you want out of it. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that's an option if you're there, waiting, sitting. So you just pull back up that little bit. Anyway, that's your CAD JPY for the moment. We'll just see what happens with it.
They timed that. They timed that specifically for this.
Who did?
I'm saying the market in general kind of times it this way specifically on purpose.
To
Because they
do
know
what?
people are going to get in at the last minute trying to get a sell out of it. And it's an hour to go. And that's why they're going to spike the fees.
Yeah, but
Look at
yeah,
the timing of it.
yeah, exactly. I bet you know you can see it's. If we look here, what have we got on? I mean, it could pull back up because the 15-minute and the 5 is still down the bottom there to push back up. It may not. It may have the, you know, because this 30 minutes got Tom's 30-minute has a little bit more, maybe a bit more power than what these do to push down. The only thing I've got here is like it's in the middle of the range. It's not overbought and not oversold. We'll see what happens. Like it's like you can only look at it and say, well, for me, I'm seeing this and going like, okay, we've got a really good push up. There's going to be some point a sell back out from the profit. Yeah. And we'll just see whether it does that. It could go into consolidation here because it's changing over into Sydney as well. So, but all of that could stop you taking the trade too. We'll just see. Doesn't really matter. We've just got to work out whether it is a trade potential and look at it as an experience, and then whether this actually works out. If it does, then we could replicate this in other trades. That's all. So that's CAD JPY. Did anybody get any of this sort of big buy out of it? Did you get any in the waking hours for the UK people or US?
No,
I did not. I was looking for sells.
I did it overnight.
Yeah, you're waiting for a sell, Tom. Yeah. Alistair,
I was
what'd
going
you say?
for a sell.
I did it overnight last night.
Yeah, I saw you got a good return out of that.
I slept later than I was, and if I'd got up, I could have probably been ahead of it before it stopped me, before it finished, and I could have moved it up and let it run and all sorts.
Yeah.
It'd have been amazing then. I mean, it'd been world-shatteringly good.
Well, this is certainly a way to look at this with what Paul and the Hoff are doing anyway, of getting some early trade. It's still, this is no different waiting. Like I'm still here from a banker's perspective, waiting for the swing high, then getting into the trade. But this indicator will allow you to maybe time and be more patient for your entry. Yeah, you wouldn't enter in that. You wouldn't enter in that. You would enter when it gets back to its sell out. Same here. Yeah, enter in there. Again, what do we got? That hasn't gone up much. If you entered in where that dot is, that's still not. It's only 2 pips. It's not a big deal at the moment. And you probably have your stop loss up here anyway. So let's put this on properly then. Say you waited for the dot, you didn't get into there, you'd put your stop loss back up there. Yeah, see, it's only 5 pips still. See that? Be back at the high here. Get your dot, the turn. You wouldn't get in until, so the dot would be, I don't know, there's a color change, just, oh, that's the color change there. But you can see that push down there to here. know that's going to do a pullback up, you're still within that. If that is, what is that on spread? It came back here and up to there. 1.5. You might have been knocked out with a 1.7 pip spread. But that doesn't matter. If you are knocked out there, you could, you know, you look at potentially getting back in at that one. Or you could put it at the top of the, you know, if you had it at the top of the wick, you probably wouldn't be. But if you put it to the top of the body, you would. Just
You would you not think with all the technology that there is around just now that they wouldn't have that position tool thingy linked in to the broker you're on with the spread that's there, and it adds it into the tool? That's just a bit crazy.
no, it doesn't. You're right, Alistair. But but there'll be different feeds from.
They want you to fail or they don't care, and that's my view.
You mean the brokers?
Hey,
You mean the broker?
in this one,
Yeah.
FX, no, I'm not, no.
Okay.
I don't know why they don't. That isn't just because spread's what it's about, and it's part of the whole thing.
Mm.
It's a a fixed ingredient to it all, and they've got a site which doesn't show it. So it's I've never understood.
Yeah, the issue is though there is different spread on different brokers though, Alistair. And say for example, FXCM will have a different spread to what maybe the broker that you use.
Yeah, right now mine's 3.
I'm saying if you're on this page and it's FXCM and you hit that position tool.
Oh, it should actually have spread on it, whatever it is. Yeah, the problem, see, then it becomes a problem. Some of the brokers have different levels. So, so I don't know if you, what's it called? Raw, and there's, for example, the broker I have, there are 2 different levels of spread.
Raw and standard, yeah.
Yeah. And so how do you actually depict the different spreads?
Oh God, yeah, raw.
Press a button at the top which says raw or standard, and then it just defaults to it.
Yeah, okay, Alistair. I think you should put that, you should email TradingView and you should put that in as a suggestion.
I mean, they're planning to put a man on Mars, for goodness sake.
No, it could be a lady on Mars too.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going.
No, Anne's not going. She hasn't put her hand up for that.
It's too late. It's nearly bedtime. I'm not going.
Yeah. Yeah. Ready for cocoa.
Sadly, the first person on Mars will probably be a man, and it's wrong. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Should be a person, not a
dog.
Hey, don't you start sending
look, I don't know. I've got this sort of funny feeling about all of this on Moon, on Mars. I'm thinking, if you haven't got your shit together here on Earth, why would you start trying to crap on another planet? You know, like it just.
Yeah, you could just see it, can't you? There'll be first thing will be, we can dump all our rubbish on another planet now, and that's great. But,
it's just marvelous. Yeah, we're doing enough bloody damage here. Anyway, let's not.
I think Boris Johnson should be the first man on Mars. To be honest.
Now you're trying to ruin Mars.
I know it's not the first time you've got a lady PM, is it? Is this second time in history?
Yeah, but of all the women that we have here, how can we find the most useless pieces to actually make PM? Come on. There are so many great women around, and we end up with that.
You know, yeah.
I agree. I'm pleased there's a lady in the seat. I think it's good.
Well, I think the world will change. I mean, all I'm hearing is that if we have a lot more women in power, things will change. That we're going to have the world a whole lot better. So, and that's, let's try it out. Let's prove it.
Caliber of the women, Brian.
Sorry.
Depends on the caliber of the women.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's not stipulated, Peter. It's just more women. Yes. No. Let's just see the numbers.
They can't be any worse than the bloody men, surely.
No, correct.
I don't know. I don't
Correct.
know. I think it's a good competition.
It doesn't really matter. No, I think it's just about people caring. That's all that matters in the end. Unfortunately, the psychology of humans is about power and money. And so, you know, whether it's Boris or whether it's some guy in Russia or wherever, there's still just power and money depicts. Anyway, I mean, we're just looking at this at the moment and see whether this would come up. We can have a look at this tomorrow and see whether, if you had been in the trade, whether it actually would be profitable for you or not, or whether you would be taken out of the trade. Who's been following Paul and David or the Hoff? Anybody? And you've been on.
Yeah, we both have.
Oh, yeah. Alistair and I and Peter. Yeah, we all have.
Yeah, good. So,
Yeah, as well.
how are you using the information? I mean, I know you don't have access directly to the indicator, but do you need that?
I think there's workarounds, to be honest. I mean, it'll be nice when it's finished, but I think we've got enough to be having a
To have
good look at it.
access. Okay.
Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah.
Just putting a few bits together. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Right. So let's, why are we doing that? Okay. Come back here. I'll just turn that off at the minute. That's where you we'll just see what happens with that anyway. So now, well, I still think there'll be a sell out of it. I'll just wait until the market changes over to Sydney, see where it's sitting at and whether it's worthwhile getting into the trade or not. That's what I'll do with it. Euro AUD, that's also done a big push up, hasn't it? Wow. That was a lot of movement. And it's come out of that zone. Okay. Just going to get rid of that one. No, I'll get rid of that one. Don't need it there now. All right.
And they could go further up.
You reckon it'll go further up? Well, yeah, the 4 hours still got to cycle up. And yes, I think you're right there, Peter. And it'll be whether it breaks this high over here. If it breaks this high, because it's close, it'll push up. It will take an amount of time until, like it's another 3/4 an hour or so until it changes over to Sydney. Once an hour, let the spread settle down, and then just see where it is then. No? But certainly, this is a bit. It's opposite to the overall trend, though. You know, but look at that. Look at the consolidation that occurred because of US Canada holiday, and then once it got into Asian session, bang, off it went. Pushed up back. Let's have a look. Where is it as far as the sessions are concerned? Yeah. Look at that. London opened, it pulled back, then pushed, then dropped back out. Then New York started here, double top there, pushed back down, and then after New York opened, what was that? That was 11 o'clock at night, off it went. I must admit, I had my alarm set for, I had my alarm set for 10:30. I went to bed and went for 10:30, and I do remember turning the alarm off, but not getting out of bed. So didn't I have any trade opportunities last night because I didn't wake up. Well, I woke up to turn the alarm off, but I didn't get out to have a look at the charts. After a push up like that, though, it will depend on whether that pulls back down or whether it breaks through this high and then keeps going. All right, so that's your AUD, Euro GBP. right? This is normally in a buy trend, but it's actually dropped out, right? So it's sold. So these two, the euros, are actually opposite to their overall higher time frame trend. Huh? Sell. So where are we at the moment? Yeah, sitting at the bottom. We're ready. Actually, the 30 minutes pulled up. It might start pulling back down before it does go up. Have to see what happens probably closer to London Open, and we'll see whether we get then a buy push. So the 4 hour has cycled down to the bottom. We've just got to work out when that will I think it'll come back. It could potentially break that low down here before it starts to work its way back up. But there are trades within that. You might want to get the trade back down again before you get into the buy. It depends on where you are in the world and what time. NCAD. Wow. Sell out, and it did. Right? Higher time frame sell. Look at it, 4 hour pull back down. So at some point, and we've got a bit of a sort of a bounce across the bottom here. It's getting ready to pull back up again. 30 minutes down the bottom, 1 hour down the bottom, 4 hour down the bottom. At some time, we're going to get a pull back up. So that will go into a buy, which is opposite to its trend. Yeah, it's higher time frame trend anyway. Whoop. USD CHF. You want to look at this one? Okay, so that is a buy trend. It did do a buy trend over the last 24 hours. Let's go to 5 minutes, probably easier to, see it push up. It pulled back down in the day when banks were closed, US, Canada, and now it's pushed back up. It's matched that high over to the left. Where is it here? It's probably got more to push up. And because it's in a buy trend, it will probably break that high. It'll probably push up to break the high and then drop back out again. It's not overbought or oversold at the moment. It's just where the market's a bit of consolidation. So you could put a GAN box on there. Now let's go back to 1 minute. See how it's going sideways on that. Let's have a look and see what happens there. I still think it'll poke back up and probably break this high and a further, but we'll just see.
Well, what's interesting about this one for me is if you go out to the weekly.
Yeah. Weekly. My
Weekly.
God. Okay. Yeah.
And throw a fib on from 29th of April.
Yeah, somewhere here, yeah.
High to low.
Okay, you want there to there. Okay, no worries.
And that's actually in the zone now.
Yeah, it is. You're absolutely right.
And if you turn on right here, if you turn on your fibs, I'm not your fibs, but your stochastic.
Yeah.
Your 800 is just above.
Oh, sorry.
Just above where the fib is.
Yeah. I know. That's way up here. 800's up here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on the 1st of April. Where are you? For the top of my fib.
I'm in May.
Yeah, mine's what day is that?
You can't be on the weekly then. You must be daily, is it?
No, mine says weekly. 22nd of April.
And you're on USD CHF?
Yeah.
It's weekly there. No, the 800's up here.
How weird.
Yeah. Oh, Ander.
Yeah, 22nd April.
22nd April is.
That's May, April 2018.
22nd April 19.
the last sort of low for that was end
Here.
of
22nd.
last year.
22nd, April 19.
19. Oh, 2019.
Yes.
Ah, yeah, back probably over here. Yes. All right. Okay, you're going there
Yeah,
to there.
now
All
see
right.
your
All right.
800
All
is?
right. All right. Hang on a minute.
You
Hang
didn't
on a
say
minute.
which year.
God, here we go. You're going from there. Oh no, wait a minute. You're going from here to there. And yes,
It's
you're
in
in
the
zone.
zone and the 800's coming into it.
Well, it's not. It's still up here. It doesn't change where the 800 is. It just means that these two are in exactly the same spot. The zones are actually exactly the same. Okay. We'll see what happens. So you reckon it'll drop back out of there?
Mine's different. My 800 is actually down at the top of that fib line.
Yeah. Well, mine's not for some reason.
No, like right underneath it. See where it's that white line is across from the top? Nope. Up,
There.
right there. That's where my 800 is.
Oh, no, mine's up higher. Okay. All right. Well, where it will be, sorry, where the trade will be taken is back down here in the 1 minute. I still feel that this will probably potentially break further up, but we'll just see. Depends. At the moment, we've got to see where it breaks out of this scan. My sort of forecast on it will be that it'll break this high, come up, and then back down again. I don't know what you think, Tom.
That's exactly what I think.
Okay.
I'm expecting it to hit the 800. Mine just shows differently than yours. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Now, did anybody see what happened to Bitcoin?
On that, going back, sorry, don't
Oh.
go back. The 4 hours is still kicking up.
Oh, 4 hour. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but then again, you've got the 30 minutes starting to pull down in the 1 hour. So it just depends on what happens at this point. As I said, I want to wait until after the session, until Sydney starts and settles down before I sort of see what happens with this. And this may not move until just before London Open. But yeah, look at Bitcoin dropped down to 18.8. And that's quite a massive drop there.
Yeah, there's been so many of them saying they're not touching it until it's actually dropped to 16, and then that will be the bottom. So I think that's been the long game for a while.
Yeah, as I said, I haven't been playing with it because it's just been ranging too much. And if you look in here, just see this, just that ranging, and then drop out.
Yeah,
It would be very difficult to pick this.
Yeah, you just cannot. You can't predict Bitcoin in the same way.
And I've had so many of these calls from the swipe coin saying, "Oh yeah, it's going to drop." Yeah, and just sort of tiny little bits underneath. It's not even going to cover spread a lot of the time. Let alone the stop loss on it.
Yeah.
So, but this drop here will probably have a pull back up. So that might be worthwhile. We'll just wait and see. Anyway.
Yeah, but it could.
Yes.
Still have some more to go down,
Oh, look at that. See how that pulled back up? So this is, whoop, that would have stopped out where it is now. And this is like Oh, what is that? Why do we have a dash line there? Oh, that's because of the session. Sorry. It's just, yeah, it's not 7 o'clock yet. But that would have stopped you out there. Would have stopped out with spread, without a doubt. And as I said, it's sort of going into a bit of consolidation at the moment. So yeah, not the best time to have got in, if you did. But if you had got in up here, it would have been a good time. Because see, as I said, the further down you are, further along after the swing, the more chance it is to come back to the point at least of where it has been. Just something I certainly observe. Okay. So any questions, looking for opportunities? I want to sit in on some more of the Hoff stuff, and we'll have a bit of and Paul's and just see whether we can fine tune this a little bit more. I don't think it can. It'll be good when we get the, well, it'll be 2 weeks before Anne gets it, but Alistair, part of MI5, he'll probably have, you've already got it, have you, Alistair?
I'm on version 2.
Version 2, yeah. Yeah, I'm still only on version 1. God, yeah,
God,
okay,
he's
right.
only got version 2. I've got version 5. What's going on?
Well, you can stay up. You can stay up and watch Paul tomorrow afternoon, Brian.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. Stay up today. All right. No, well, there's a problem. Paul may not be on. He has an oral issue.
Here's a what?
An oral issue.
Oral?
Oral.
The hell does that mean?
I was just going to say, it's
Two.
these Australians that
It
can't,
means-
you know,
Lost
he's
his voice.
got to go and get his
No,
teeth
no,
fixed.
no. It means he lost. It means he lost a filling. He had one of his teeth.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thought
that's
he
what I
meant
said,
he
he's got to
lost
go
his
and get his
voice.
teeth fixed.
No. He has in his gob. He has a filling that dropped out, and it must have been a pretty solid chip that he was chewing on that it came out. Anyway, so I think he's got to organise a dentist appointment. So
His age, they'll just give him false teeth.
good on you, Anne. All right. So, and any more comments, questions, feedback?
I think we're going to have a nice gap tonight.
Yes, particularly with that Bitcoin.
That big move, Bitcoin move. Yeah, definitely. See what that does over the next hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Rianne, you really haven't told anybody yet or shown them. Well, you've shown them in.
No, that's fine. Actually, Brian, have a look at
Mhm.
I think I've picked up another one.
Sure.
Euro USD,
Yeah, let's go there.
2nd of September on the 1 minute. Sorry,
Euro
no,
US
15 minute.
Euro USD on the 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2nd of September. Is it 2nd?
I'll turn that off.
Yeah, 2nd September at 11 o'clock. Well, that's my time, so
I'll change it.
there you go. No, you got it there. On that that session break line. See the
Yeah.
gap?
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I
that
caught
was the
that
start.
gap
Yeah,
on-
but that was when market closed on the last day of the week and started there.
Yeah, but I caught that gap on the US 100, and I had the US Euro
That was
USD
25. That was
open.
25 pips.
Yeah, but I trundled it along down further.
This and that's 100.
Yeah, I actually was in on both of them.
Is this the NAS 100?
Yeah.
You're saying you gapped it on the,
Traded
And
the
what I'm
gap.
saying is I was trading the NAS 100
yeah,
and I noticed that there was a gap on the Euro USD at
Yeah.
exactly the same time.
which is the gap here.
Exactly. So I traded the gap and continued right down to the bottom of that second candle after.
Down here.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Oh, because there was a gap in
Well, there was movement on the
That.
Bitcoin over the weekend.
yeah.
So that was Sunday night.
Let's have a look.
When did you enter?
Second here. Oh yeah, that was the movement there. See that drop there? Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying?
That's the one.
Yeah. See the drop there on the, oh, that's the third actually. It'll be the second somewhere here.
Yeah, this is
Or is it that drop there at the second market changeover?
hang on, let me open my trading view.
Because they're
open.
slightly different times though, aren't they?
What do you mean by different times?
Well, when the market changes over, isn't it a different time?
Well, the session break is normally thrown on the charts at 12, whereas the Forex timing is at 11.
That's what I'm saying. There's an hour difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that I don't know if that's what's causing that. I mean,
But it's
I'm
giving you an
only looking
insight
at
though for that 1 hour though, isn't it?
the gap between, well, the time period between 10 and 11 UK time.
Well,
Is
that's
what
10
gives me
o'clock.
the
That's 10
indication.
o'clock UK on the second.
Sorry, I'm not looking at your chart. I've got. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
So
10 o'clock. That's 10
yeah,
o'clock
that's
UK
it. So
time.
that was moving.
And went down.
Where's 11 then?
11
Which
is
candle
there.
is 11? Okay, so it
1, 2,
basically,
3, 4, 5 candles. Yeah.
yeah. So it closed on that bottom. So that is what created the gap on the US 100.
Okay. We go, this is the NAS 100, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
NAS.
US 100 NAS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all I do is I put a horizontal line and a vertical line
Yeah.
at the time at 10
Okay.
o'clock
There you go. Well,
on
hang
Bitcoin.
on. We'll go back to, hang on. I changed that. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Okay.
You close it.
No, it's all right. I'll come back here. No, it's just, I changed the whole process on the thing. I'm just going to turn that off. Hide that for the minute. So where we got the second again here, that's the changeover just there. All right.
Yeah.
So if we're looking at this.
So if you put a horizontal at 10.
At 10, when it closed or the start of it?
Well, at 10 o'clock, which if it's
10
if
o'clock
it's
the
the red
start of the
candle,
10 o'clock's the start is that whole candle. But it would have started here because it
yeah,
came
so
off the
it'd
top of
be at
that
the
one.
finish of that candle then.
Oh, the finish. Okay, you want the finish.
Yeah,
of
because
it,
10
just there.
o'clock it closes. That candle closes at 10, doesn't it?
Correct. You're right.
Okay. So and then put another horizontal at the end of 11,
which is there.
which would be that one. Yeah.
Yep.
So all I'm looking for is, has there been a gap over that hour? Has there been significant movement over that hour? And you can see there's been quite a lot of movement there.
And you can measure from the bottom of that there to the bottom of that there is
80 pips?
82 pips. Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
820, but in Bitcoin, it's 82. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you go to NAS now,
Okay. Go over here and do it. So I can flip from one to the other. Yeah.
go
There's
to the
15
second.
and I want
You're
the
on there.
second.
Yeah, there you go.
No, that's the second here. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, this is on the left. No, that's
yeah,
the
that's the
first.
second. No, this is the second here.
Okay, at the end of that day. You change over that. There you go.
Oh, yeah,
So
the
if you
gap.
put now, if you now put the same two lines, one at 10 o'clock,
Yep.
which will be the bottom of that candle, and then
No,
the
this is
start of the first
UTC
candle.
one. That's UTC one. It's not. That's not 10. 10's back over here somewhere. Why is?
That's 10 at night, isn't it?
No. No. Before it was 10 in the morning. You want 10 at night, do you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's correct. You've got it right there.
That's right. That is right.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So that's the gap that is created.
23 is 11. So that last candle on the 15-minute last candle is 21.45.
Yeah, that's right. So it closes at 10.
Oh yeah, okay. Finishes there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. 21:45 panel finishes at 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next one opens. It's that gap that we're looking. I mean, you can clearly see the gap in between the two candles there.
Yeah.
And all I'm doing is based on the movement of the BTC, that gives me
That's-
direction.
Yeah.
So I just put a pending order in immediately 5 minutes before 11. I put a pending order in.
It
and I put
activates the order.
2
and
pip
then-
stop loss. Well, actually, it's normally open immediately after it opens. So you get a bit of slippage.
Yeah.
But that's inevitable. So you might lose 5 pips or 10 pips. So what's the gap in that pips there? Now that
This-
gap, what's
That there
yeah,
between there and there is 18.
that's 18 pips. So a small gap like that, you might lose 1 or 2 pips, but you're still getting
It did pull back
18
up.
pips.
You see the
Yeah,
wick pull back up
yeah, it
there.
normally does that. It does that. So, but then I would normally keep an eye on it like you would with your 1 minute trades.
Yeah.
And, I take it right down to the bottom. So what's that total pips there from the bottom of that candle? So we had 18 to there. Yeah, take it from there. And then go down to that. Yeah. So that's 56 pips. You can't go wrong.
So what you're saying is that by watching Bitcoin, you can predict the NAS 100.
I can predict the direction.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
gap.
No, that's what was. Yeah.
And
Oh,
if there's going to be a
fascinating.
gap.
Right.
And
Which time
all I
frame are you
do,
looking at? 15 minutes.
well, I normally do it on 1 minute, but
All right. Okay.
but yeah, you can do it on 15 minutes as well. It doesn't really matter what time frame it is. There's always going to be a gap.
That's why, because I had it. Yeah. Correct.
But what was interesting to me is that 2nd of September gap on the Euro USD. I've not seen that gap align so closely to the NAS.
Okay. So then if we go to Euro USD,
So I'm basically just having a look now and seeing if I can see more correlations of that same nature.
What,
yeah,
across all
21.
the USD pairs? You
Well,
mean?
this is
Well,
this
no,
would have
not
been when
necessarily.
market closed to when market opened on the 4th.
Yeah,
Over the weekend.
but
So
that
is
doesn't
it-
happen on the Euro USD every day.
No.
Is
No,
it-
it doesn't. No, it won't. It'll only happen normally after market opens on at the start of the new week.
Yeah. So, and to answer your question is basically over the weekends, there's usually a very large gap. And then through the week, weekdays, the gap is much smaller, like this one, for instance.
Mm,
But you can generally identify the direction and you can identify the strength of the gap,
yeah,
meaning the size of the gap
the
that's going to
volume.
fall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Worth
Now,
having
if
a
you look
at.
at today's movement, if that movement continues over the next hour, there'd be quite a big gap.
Because of the
Um,
Bitcoin.
Yes.
So what we're doing is we're waiting for, and because, well, you did get the same drop as Bitcoin there.
You do, yes. There's a good correlation between the two.
So what we're waiting for is we're waiting for 10 o'clock or 10 p.m. here.
Well, you won't, yeah, you get 10 p.m. there,
Which is actually
which
very
gives you your entry point.
correct.
But at that point, you don't know which direction it's going to go yet.
No, because what you do is you
So
go to
you
Bitcoin
wait. Yeah.
and you look for the current where the oh,
You're looking for the current trend on Bitcoin when it happens.
yeah. Well, no, it'll fill in. So while the market's closed on NAS 100, Bitcoin still keeps trading.
Yeah.
That's what this is
Yeah,
what
yeah, exactly.
Rianne's
So they're
saying.
mirroring each
So
other then,
Bitcoin
yeah.
keeps trading and shows you a trend, but the NAS closed down for a while. And when the NAS starts up again, it goes in the direction that Bitcoin
It's
has
catching
gone
up with
while
Bitcoin.
NAS has been closed down.
Yeah, yeah. That's well worth looking at.
I mean, there's been some over the last couple of weeks, there's been some very big jumps. There's one in particular, which I actually traded and I had slippage of over 180 pips
Wow.
before it caught, and I still had 200 pips on the win. Yeah, it just depends on what's going on Bitcoin sometimes and how big
The gap is.
volume was over
Yeah.
the weekend.
Yeah.
It's normally weekends that generate the bigger gaps,
Yeah. Okay.
but it's consistent. It happens every day.
Well, Bitcoin's 24/7, so
Yeah, I mean, what
no,
I
it
mean
means
is the
absolutely
trade.
means the correlation. Yeah,
yeah, no, I understand
yeah,
that.
pretty cool.
But the thing is, though, that the NAS 100 is only traded like Forex. It's only traded through the
It
week.
is, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
When you, Ram, when you're setting your pending order, are you then just setting it, if it's on a sell, just under where it's closed on? previous?
Rianne can answer.
I literally, whatever the time frame or the price point was at 10 o'clock, you put your entry 2 pips below it or 2
Or
pips
above it.
above it,
Depends on if it's a buy trend or a
Yeah,
sell
yeah.
trend.
and you put a 2 pip stop loss on it because it happens so quickly, you can never catch that as a trade. But because it's a pending order, apart from the slippage, you should grab the majority of that trade.
Yeah.
And
The
And
only
you've
thing
got
I would
the, and you
say-
basically
close it?
have got really the whole hour to set it up nearly.
You do, yes. The only
And
thing
are
I
you
would say
closing
is
manually?
that,
Are you just watching it to close it?
well, I actually sometimes put a take profit in as well. So I've had instances where I put, say, 50 or 80 pips as a profit, and that's just based on a guess, really, on how much it's moved, how much Bitcoin has moved over that time period.
From the volume.
Yeah,
Okay.
and there's no maths that I've applied to it as yet. I haven't
You
figured
haven't
out how
tried an
to apply
exit
maths.
manager on it, have you?
I haven't, no. But I would just take a snapshot and, take a guess at it and put some figures down.
And I think also, Rian, the
Um,
more times you actually take this type of trade, the more you're inclined to understand where that might be because of its pattern.
Exactly. So I'm
Yeah.
starting to build a, kind of a mental picture of what that move is going to look like. And then hopefully I can put some maths to it.
And it just
in
happens
coming
it's an
time.
everyday event, and it'll be smaller or larger depending on what day of the
Yeah.
week it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so we haven't got any data like that as yet, I mean,
Hmm.
that will take at least a year to come up with data like that.
A year. Oh my God.
Well,
Then
the
your
only
account would be
realistic
up by
timeframe.
1,000% or more.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that. But we'll have to see where it goes.
Hmm.
Oh,
But
thanks for
what's
that.
nice about
Mhm.
it is it's consistent, it happens every day at a specific time, and you have a couple of key basic things that you can look for in terms of setting your direction and setting stop losses and take profits and things, or leave it open if you like, I suppose. The only thing I would say is that I've noticed on MT4, you can't place pending trades when the market's closed. I've not been able to find out how you can place a trade when it's closed.
What are you
So
But on
using
my
it?
broker,
where are you placing your pending trades then?
well, I'm with CMC Markets as a broker, which is a London-based company,
Hmm.
and
Ah,
they
right,
have their
okay.
own platform, which is a web-based platform. So I place it on there.
Right.
For some reason, they accept those pending trades, whilst it's closed. So yeah, I think people just have to try it and find out,
Yeah,
how
that
they
may
can
be
overcome
that may
that.
be the glitch. But that for me, like that's between 7 and 8 in the morning, which is it's just when market closes from New York and then opens up in Sydney.
Yeah, you should be able to grab that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Couple of pips
the-
before breakfast.
Yeah. Well, I don't actually have breakfast. I don't eat until midday, but that's okay.
Pips for breakfast.
Yeah.
Could be. No, well, that's good. Thank you for explaining that, Ryan. We'll give it a go. I think that's worth a trial. You demo it, see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It will depend on broker and whether the broker.
I don't think my brokers will let you do it.
I might be able to do it on C Trader. I will have to I'll have a look.
You know what? If it's predictable and it's potentially finding a broker just to do it, isn't it?
Just open an account with CMC. If they allow you to do it, then
Yeah.
you can have an account just with that.
The other way of looking at it is you can place two trades, one buy, one sell. You put your stop losses so tight that it's only going to trigger one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. But the point is, what you're really saying, though, is you're working off a predicted forecast of direction. That's really, it's giving you a heads up of potential direction when it opens back up again.
The difficulty of placing it at 10 o'clock or just before 10 is establishing what your price point is going to be at 10 o'clock when it closes.
Yeah.
You don't know what that's going to be. It could move
Yeah.
5 or 10 pips beyond, you know, your predicted level. So, and that could throw you out instantly as well. But
Hmm.
if you are able to place a pending trade at just 5 minutes to open time, that's the ideal scenario.
Yeah. Okay. No worries. All right then. Thank you. So
Unless you're trading, unless you're trading with a Wanda that doesn't show gaps, because a Wanda sucks.
well, I'm
What, you
not,
mean they filled it in for you?
Yeah, everything's filled in. There's never any gaps.
yeah, it's a problem, isn't it? That's what I keep saying. I mean, yeah.
Well, the thing is, Tom, you're still going to have the same movement. Whether the actual candle shows the gap or not, there's
Yeah,
still
but
going to be that movement.
But Tom, what you can always do on TradingView is set up some currency pairs with FXCM or whatever, and you'll be able to see the gaps, and then just trade it on Oanda.
That is true.
There's always a
I just like
workaround for
bashing a Wanda
it.
because they suck.
Well, you know, hey, yeah, some of us have a choice.
I had a spread of 38 the other day on
Oh.
Wanda. Yeah, it's like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, they got to make money. They got to feed the kids. They got to, you know, like.
Yeah, because they don't make enough every day.
Yeah. Anyway, all right then. I better get going. I've got to go and. Well, it's nearly time to look at it for 10 o'clock this morning, UK time, and then back again to. Oh, just change mine back here. Yep, there we go. Oh yeah. Oh, let's have a look. A few of us, we can come back to session tomorrow and have a chat, see what happened in the next hour or so. Like, it's only 10 minutes away. You'll see where it closed, and then it's only an hour to wait. We can always put it into the chat anyway. I think everyone here is in the chat group. So, okay.
Cool.
I think that-
Thanks everybody.
I think that's your lot for today. Take it easy.
Okay,
All right.
take it easy,
stuff.
Brian.
Take care,
All right.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
All right. Ciao.